Oh, hello, good afternoon, all of you. I am Zainab Malai. I am the coordinator of Getty. So, today my talk will be on the topic emotions and coping strategies. So, my chat is divided into four main chapters. First, what is emotions? What are the types of emotions? Coping strategies and emotion management. So, first, let us talk about what are emotions. Emotions are strong feelings that we have within ourselves and take within ourselves which are dependent on the situation, the mood, the circumstances, and the interrelationship with one another. We can also define emotions as emotions can be emotions are biological state which are associated with nervous system and brought by various neurophysiological changes which are brought in by these what do you call thoughts, feeling, behavioral responses, a degree of pleasure or displeasure. So these are emotions. Emotions are very different from feelings. How emotions are like feelings always need an external trigger or sensation, है ना? And feelings can be included physical sensation as well as mental sensation. But emotions can always come from mind. So emotions and feeling are different. We are in the habit of using these two terms very interchangeably. There are emotions which are very good, and there are emotions which are very bad, which make us feel bad, which make us feel low. So let me give you, there are basically 7 emotions which are happiness, anger, fear, disgust, surprise, love, and sadness. So, how do you cope with these emotions? The first one, anger. Anger is an emotion that every one of us go through. What do we feel when we are angry? When you are angry with someone or with some situation, maybe you are angry with a person, what do you feel doing? You feel like instantly you feel like slapping that person. So this is your reaction to anger. When you are angry with someone, there are strategies to deal with anger. When you are happy, what do you feel like? Instantly, when you get a good news, you instantly feel like shouting or yelling or saying hooray. So this is your reaction when you are happy. Fear. When you are fear, you get numb. You don't want to speak anything. You want to run away from that situation. You rush like anything. Then comes disgust. When you are disgusted with something, you don't feel like talking, you want to isolate yourself, or maybe you don't want to face that situation. Then surprise can be a good surprise, can be a bad surprise. When it's good, you are really happy and you shout hooray. It's a good thing for you, like you scored high marks in your exams or you topped your class. Then what do you say? Yay, hooray, I topped in my class. Then when you have a bad surprise, like you hear about someone's death, that comes as a surprise, but that is a bad surprise. So you feel sad, you want to cry in that situation. Sometimes when you are happy, even you want to cry, tears come roll out of your eyes. Then comes love. What is your response when you feel loved? You want to hug someone, you want to pat someone. Sadness is the last feeling. When somebody is sad, most of the time people want to isolate themselves, they want to don't want to hear about that sad occasion or sad thing which has made them sad, so they want to isolate themselves. Then comes this was the last feeling. Then comes the feeling of guilt. When you are guilty of something, what do you feel? You feel really very emotional about that. You don't want to talk about that emotion to anyone. You feel guilty, you feel self conscious of that emotion. So these are the 8 emotions I talked about. Now, can you all give me in the comments below, how do you deal with your emotions? Come on, answer me. How do you deal with fear? Let me give you an instance. For example, you are there in a class full of 100 students, and maybe most of the people I know, they are scared of lizards. So what will you do if a lizards come into your class? Give me in your comments. Come on. Give it to me in the comments. What will you do if you are encountered with a lizard, or maybe with a cockroach in the kitchen? Come on. Okay, I will tell you. You will start screaming or shouting when you see a result. At times, it happens with me. Maybe it does not happen with you if you are not scared of lizard. Maybe if you see a big animal, like wild animal, you'll start shouting. Many people are not scared of animals. See, I have a reply from Anne Maria. She's saying, I'll shout first after seeing the lizard. So you can see that reply coming from a person. There's another reply from Dharmendra Sharma. He's saying he'll keep calm instead of reacting. So there are many people with who have different responses to different situation. Okay. In the meanwhile, you can even ask me questions related to emotions. Anything you are like confused or you want to ask me about. Come on. Okay. That you shouted after seeing a result, or you kept calm instead of reacting, is your coping strategy. We use several coping strategies to deal with day-to-day emotions. What are these strategies? These are the strategies or things or ways we do to deal with our day-to-day problems. Coping mechanism, it is inbuilt in us. Coping mechanism are the strategies people often use in the face of stress or trauma to help manage painful or difficult situations. We basically use 4 main types of strategies to deal with day-to-day emotions. So first first strategy, coping strategy that we use it, we exaggerate the emotion, and which make us feel overwhelmed and we lose the control. How? Like for example, there's a question coming from Astha Mishra. How do inculcate patience among children? Patience, let me answer this. Patience is a very important emotion, and that comes by using the coping strategies. I'll be telling those strategies to you in a while, so keep watching my video and you will get how to cope with the with this how to cope with this emotions. Patience among little children, she's asking. Kumar Saurabh is saying, most people shout mummy when they are in the stressful situation. Why? Because from early childhood, the mother is the only confidant with the child has. And it is our normal instinct, it is our normal reaction to any situation whenever we are in any trouble. Maybe maybe we are happy or maybe we are sad. We always call out our mother's name. So coping strategies. Let's come to the coping strategies. We exaggerate the emotion so that we are overwhelmed by them and we lose the control of the situation. Let me give you an example. For example, you topped in your class and you go out and party with your friends, and you kept on partying and dancing and drinking and everything. What will happen? You will lose control of the situation. You want to lose control on that particular day. This is one strategy that you use to when you are happy. The same way when you are sad, sometimes often it happens with people. When they are sad, what do? They instantly go out. Maybe they overeat, they eat lot of junk food, or they go around and drink, or maybe they will have lot of drinks or drugs, or they are sad. They lose control of the situation, they exaggerate that emotion. Then second strategy, what is the second coping strategy? Is accept the emotion and not try to regain the control. Now can anybody of you give me an example of this? You accept the emotion and you don't try to regain the control. How? Come on, tell me. You accept. When do you use this strategy? You accept the emotion and you don't try to regain the control of the situation. Come on, anybody? Okay, let me give you an example. Accepting the emotion and not trying to regain control. Like for example, you all are staying back in your house. We all are quarantined, है ना? So what do? You for example, we all are staying and we all are like stressed because each one of us is there with sometimes we are stressed, sometimes we are happy. We all are locked down in our houses. So for example, there's a child of yours who breaks a vase which is very dear to you, very close to you. So that person breaks that child of yours breaks the vase. What will you do? You will accept the situation. Instead of scolding or beating the child, will not bring back your vase. So you accept this situation and you don't try to regain the control. I assume I am clear in this strategy of mine. Anybody who has any question regarding this can ask it to me. Then there is another strategy. Substitute the emotion with something more comfortable, like distracting. I hope you all understand this. How do you control this kind of an emotion? You all must have seen that movie Munna Bhai MBBS, right? So in that, whenever Munna Bhai, the actor Sanjay Dutt, whenever he used to come to Boman Irani, Dr. Asthana, and he used to get really angry with this boy, angry with this, है ना? So what does he do? He tries to laugh. He uses laughter therapy. He diverts his attention from the main thing and he tries to laugh, which is more comforting for him, which is more relaxing for him, instead of getting stressed and getting upset and getting angry seeing this actor. So this is also clear, I assume. Then comes the last one, managing the emotion through self-awareness. How will you manage an emotion through self-awareness? Self-awareness, you are aware of your emotions. For example, there's a person whose anger is very bad. Whenever that person is angry, he is very bad. He loses his control and his anger is really very bad. So what does that person do when he is angry? How will he cope with this strategy? He is aware that his anger is very bad. So whenever he gets angry, he knows his anger is very bad. So first of all, he will avoid these situations. Avoid the situation which will make him or her angry. First thing. And secondly, if at all he is encountered with a situation where he gets angry, he will walk away from that situation. Simply he will walk away because he is aware of his anger. Okay, so this is done here. So 8 emotions I gave you, 8 key points in emotions. What were the emotions? What were the 8 emotions that I told you? First one is happiness, anger, disgust, love, fear, surprise, and guilt and sadness. So these are the 8 emotions. Then I told you about 4 strategies to deal with these. How will you deal with these? First one, you exaggerate the emotion and lose control. Second one is you know the situation and accept the emotion and don't try to regain the control of the situation. Then comes the third one, substitute the emotion with something more comfortable, like distraction. And the last one is manage the emotion through self-awareness. So I assume I made all the key points clear to you all. Now I come. Now there comes, now let me give you a situation and I want you all to answer. You were in an examination hall and you see your fellow students revising something that you did not study at all. What will be your reaction? Let me repeat my question once again. You were in your examination hall and you see your fellow students revising something that you did not study at all. What will be your reaction? Please tell me. I am waiting for your responses. Come on, send me your responses. Write it down here in the comment section. Come on. What will be your first emotion, or what will be your first reaction or response when you see your fellow students revising something before an exam and which you haven't studied at all? Let me tell you, some of you will be depressed to see them revising the thing that you haven't studied at all. Or maybe some of you who are very optimistic within themselves, they'll say it is not in the course, they must be studying something wrong, because I haven't studied this, I don't have this, and I did not see this in the syllabi. So maybe they are studying something else. So these are the two strategies that people use. You got my point, na? Now let us start what emotional management is. What do you understand by emotional management? Emotional management is all about thoughts and feelings that we have, thoughts and feelings and behavior and their impact on others. How do they impact other people? They are known as this is known as emotional management. Sometimes we cannot control our emotions, but with awareness we can decide how long we experience that emotion and how much they can affect our actions. Let me give you an example of this. I go to college daily in the morning when there was no lockdown. We are talking of the normal scenario. So maybe I had a fight with my husband, maybe, or maybe I'm upset with something that happened in my house in the morning. So I am really angry, but I don't want that anger to go with me to the school, and I take out that emotion of mine to my students. So what do? I control that emotion from my house, from the distance from my house to my college. I control the time. I control the time for which I experience that emotion of anger. And I try not to be upset when I enter the school. I try to forget that emotion of mine when I enter the school. So this was my strategy. This was my emotion management technique. Okay. Now let us come to the emotion management. How do you manage emotion? First and foremost thing that we do in emotion management is we control our impulse. How do you control your impulse? We all are human beings and we all are impulsive by nature. But how do we control our impulse? First and foremost point is we respond. We respond, not react. Reaction is a very instant action that we give, but respond is when we think over and we use our thought process, and then we respond to the situation. This is one point for impulse control. That second is recognizing the trigger and knowing what triggers your emotion, and then finding the way to respond to that trigger. There are triggers which give response to your which initiate your reaction. Okay? Then comes anger management. How do you manage your anger? Anger can take a snowball. Anger can have a snowball effect because it can get momentum from a little trigger, and especially for the times when we have a little level of anger already in ourselves. You do understand what is a snowball. A snowball, it keeps on rolling and it keeps on gaining weight. So when a person is triggered with a little thing and is angry or is upset with something previously, so that anger gains momentum. Then secondly, how venting. Sometimes people think that venting can help, but venting often does not help, or maybe it may lead to make the emotions more strong. The feeling of anger, venting makes it more strong. So how to cope with this? That same thing, you understand the trigger, and whenever you see the trigger, you walk away from the situation. This is how you can manage your anger, and this will give you patience. Astha Mishra ji, I assume this question of yours is now clear to you. Children get really very upset, or maybe they are angry at times. So with this, the things that trigger these emotions in them, they should be taught to walk away from those situations. Then the third one is depressive thinking or sadness. How do you manage this emotion? How do you come over this emotion? When do we feel sad? We often feel sad when we hold on to some hurt feeling rather than expressing them. We don't express our hurt feelings. We don't feel like saying anything or talking about our hurt feelings. Excuse me. Rather, what do? We keep those hurt feelings to ourselves. This makes us feel depressed, and this makes us feel very sad. So how can you deal with this emotion, or how can you manage this emotion? This emotion can be easily managed by laughter, exercise, celebrating small successes that we do in our school with children. There are children who don't perform very good at exam level, or maybe during their activities or so, but at times when they perform well, it is the duty of the teacher to celebrate that little thing. So what does it help? It helps reducing their sadness or depression and makes them happy. Good appetite, then helping others, this all removes your sad feelings or depressive thinking. Then third one is stress management. First of all, let us know what are the indicators of stress. I assume I am really very clear to all of you, and I am really audible and clear and legit in my speech. Then comes stress management. What are the indicators of stress? Pain in your neck and head and back. This is one of the indicator of stress. Overreacting, when a person is overreacting to anything, they lose their sleep, or there is a change in their sleeping pattern, or they lose their appetite. These are the things which are the indicators of stress. So how can you deal with all these situations of stress? First thing, good food, good sleep, good nutrition, and help doing good exercise, interacting with people, having healthy conversations. All these remove the stress from your emotions and make you happy again. So any questions from your side, or shall I ask another question? I haven't got any answer for my last question. I haven't got any answer for my last question. Let me repeat that question of mine. You were outside your examination hall and you see your fellow students revising something that you haven't studied at all. What will you do? Tell me. Write it down in your comments. What will you do? What will be your first reaction? Come on, give me your answers. Okay. You people ask me some questions. I have another question for you. For let me wait for a minute for you people to answer it. The question I asked you. Can someone tell me how feelings and emotions are different? I just now explained it to you. So can you tell me how feelings and emotions are different? Come on. All of you who are watching my video, please answer this to me. How feelings and emotions are different? I'm not getting any answers. Let me explain this once again. Emotions are feelings, and feelings both are sensations experienced by human beings. One thing. Then feelings are triggered by external stimuli, whereas emotions come from your mind and possibly soul. So feelings need an external trigger, and emotions can be triggered by external forces, but it is always internal. What is there in your mind? You have some inbuilt, like you have a constructed knowledge of something, and which give rise to that emotions of yours. You listen to a song, and unknowingly you are happy listening to it. Why? Because previously when you heard that song, you were very happy. Maybe you were with your friends, you were with your family. So when you hear that song, when you are lonely, even you are happy listening to that song. I assume I made this point clear to you all. So let me quickly recap the stress management strategies. Stress management strategies include impulse control, anger management, depressive thinking, and stress management. It also includes one more point: relationship building. Relationship building is something very important in today's world, in today's scenario, when people are working in collision with each other, they are helping each other, and organizations and big firms and companies need this relationship building very much. How can we build a relation? By being an active listener. When you are very attentively, very clearly, very properly, that person feels that you are listening to that person, and that person holds some importance in your life. Then secondly, by showing empathy towards that person. And thirdly, by being aware of other person's feeling. For example, you keep on speaking and speaking and speaking, and you don't listen to other person. What does that? You are not understanding the feelings of that person, so it doesn't help that person, है ना? So you won't be able to build a very good relation with that person. But if you are an active listener and you hold empathy to that person, you will definitely understand that person and build a good relationship with that person. Now, what do you do to control your impulse? First thing, you respond rather than reacting. To control your impulse, you respond rather than reacting. Then you what do? You identify the trigger and try to learn the ways to respond to that trigger. Then anger management. How do you manage your anger? Here also you have to identify the trigger and you have to learn to walk away from that situation. Then comes the third one, depressive thinking or sadness. How can you overcome sadness or depressive thinking? By laughing, by celebrating small successes, by helping others and getting indulged with other people. This will help you forget about your own sadness and get indulged with other people. Then third one is stress management. As I told you, firstly you have to understand the indicators of stress. Why are you stressed? Well, maybe there is something that you are unaware, unknowingly you are stressed for something. So you have to identify your stressing situation and then you deal with it. How you can divert your attention? By doing exercise, by going out, by playing, or by eating proper food, interacting with people and sharing your problem with your friends or maybe with your family. This will help you reduce your stress. Any questions from your side? Please, I'm open to all the questions. Please ask me. I'm here to answer them. Come on. Ask questions. People, I'm waiting for your questions to answer. Okay, forget it. Let me ask you another question. Take an example. You are stuck in a very bad situation on the road. You need to like you met your friend met with an accident and you are stuck with your friend. What will you do in that situation? You are not hurt, you are okay, but your friend is hurt very badly. What will you do in this situation? Come on, all of you, please respond. Do you all know why am I talking about emotions and coping strategies? Let me tell you. Emotions play a very important role in today's world. And if we are able to understand our emotions, we can easily understand other people's. I have so many questions coming. There's a question from Romana. She's asking, what is your coping mechanism in lockdown? My coping mechanism in lockdown is I try to accept the situation. I accept the emotion and try not to regain the control. Then there is Astha Mishra. She's asking me, when in dilemma of decision making. When you are in dilemma of decision making, you should find options. You should see your options. You should make a list of pros and cons and see which are more, and then you should take the decision. Then there is Ma'am Sumita Bhatt. Is there an easy escape from any difficult situation? There isn't any easy escape from a difficult situation, but what you can do, ma'am, is you can easily accept the situation, maybe if you can, and deal with it. Go on and deal with that situation. That is the best possible way. No matter what the situation is difficult or it is easy, if you are ready to face it, it's easy for you to face it. Then there's another question, how old people with their kids living away should cope with emotion dawns. Parents who live away from their kids always have this emotional lag, or they feel disconnected from their kids. What I will suggest is, in today's world of technology and internet, parents should connect with their children via internet, and this will help them to deal with this emotional dawn. There's another question, a person who can control his mind can control everything. This is true up to some extent. Those people who can control thyself are at times are able to control other people's emotion too, and this is what make them emotionally intelligent. Examples. There's another question, best way to control anger. In my opinion, best way to control anger is by walking away in certain situations, and in some situations you accept it. Accept the emotion and you show a certain amount of your anger, because if you don't show your anger, your body will feel stressed because of that inbuilt anger, and maybe it will vent out very badly at some other point. There's another question, can you suggest the best way to control fear? Best way to control your fear is to overcome it. You face your fear, you try to fight with your fear, is the best way to control your fear. You accept it, you try to I gave these 4 strategies to you. I would suggest is face it, confront it, and you will get over the fear forever. Then there's another question, is there any connection in between emotions, feeling and stress? Yes, certainly there is a connection between emotions and feelings. Feelings are, whenever the feelings are very strong, they give rise to emotion, and stress are the bad feelings that we have, which gives rise to sad emotions or maybe stressful emotions. He is injured very badly, so what will you do? I am getting answers for those. Inform his relatives. It's an answer from Anju Rakesh ji. inform his relatives and police, take him to hospital immediately. Then there's another answer coming from Priyanka Soni ji. She's saying, I will take him to the hospital. But how? How will you take that person to the hospital? And what will be your reaction? I'm asking, what will be your reaction? Lower emotions when continuously getting. There's a question from Lalita Tripathi ji. How to have control over your emotions when continuously get insulted by someone without any reason? Lalita ji, I would suggest you, when a person is insulting you for no reason, there must be some previous reasons that person is insulting you. There must be some personal grudges that person hold for you, or maybe he's jealous of you, or maybe there is something or the other that person holds for you, that person is scolding you. I would just say that. I got the answer for my first question too from Dr. Sunita Gandhi. The first question was, if you were outside your examination hall and you see your classmates revising a thing that you haven't studied at all. She says it feels too late. It will reduce my confidence and first reaction will be disappointment. Then there was answer from Meghna Singh. She says, listen to music and forget about it. Then there's answer from Abbas. He says, I will leave it to the fate, and I will leave it to the fate. He says, I guess. And then Anju Rakesh says, keep calm, try to give examination whatever we learn throughout the course. That's the good attitude, Anju ji. That's really good that you keep calm and you leave it on the fate. Then I asked, what is the difference between feelings and emotions? Mansi answered it, and she's saying feelings can't change but emotions can. Then Himanshu ji answered this by answering feelings are instincts while emotions can be triggered by external factors. You answered it the reverse way. Feelings are instincts, that is true, but they are triggered by external factors, and emotions are what we have in their mind. Anjuji says she will try to keep calm and call the ambulance. So I think I should wind up my session here. What are the things that we studied all through this course are, what are emotions? There are 8 types of emotion, the coping strategies, and emotion management. So emotion management of oneself and management of the emotions of the other person are together, these both things together make a person emotionally intelligent, and emotional intelligence is what I am going to take up in my next session with you. So till then, stay safe, stay home, bye bye.